Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that the video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. As you can see, Kisumu is fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. And for this video, kindly let me know the name of the constituency you come from. Ladies and gentlemen, what next for Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Alliance? That is the question which most Kenyans are currently asking. Because yesterday, the dreaded ODM men in black stopped Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka from reading the resolutions of the Azimio La Umoja One Kenya coalition party's parliamentary group meeting, which took place at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation. The truth of the matter is that there were disagreements during that meeting, and Raila Odinga excused himself. And before Kalonzo could read the statement, hell broke loose. The question is, what next for Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Alliance? Earlier today, I saw Martha Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, Charity Ngilu, and other co-principals meeting somewhere in Nairobi. What do you think they discussed? Of course, the aftermath of yesterday's events and probably the future of Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Alliance. And I also came across a video of Mutula Kilonzo Jr. lecturing Raila Odinga about yesterday's event.
It is extremely unfortunate. ODM must treat Kalonzo Musyoka with respect. Na si tafadhali. Acha ndoa watu akwani unilazima. Kuna wewe. We will not accept disrespect from ODM. Sisi tumewapatia nafasi 3. Sasa mnatuonyesha madharau.
And I can assure you, Raila Odinga is done with Azimio. That is the honest truth. Which begs the question, why would the men in black stop Kalonzo Musyoka, who is a co-principal, a man who has stood with Raila Odinga 3 times? Why would they stop him from reading the statement? Number one, and I explained yesterday, is Raila Odinga's bid for the African Union Commission. You see, Raila Odinga is keen on becoming the next chair of the African Union Commission. Uhuru Kenyatta is not comfortable because for Raila Odinga to succeed, he must be supported by the government. And in the process of being supported by the government, it's definitely going to mean that Raila Odinga is going to work very closely with William Ruto. So Uhuru Kenyatta is not comfortable, and that's how the other co-principals are also opposed to that. So which means they wanted Raila Odinga to participate in the demonstrations, the Gen Z demonstrations. Remember, today, Obasanjo was in the country. Yesterday, you saw Raila Odinga stopping out of that meeting. Probably Raila Odinga even shared with these guys that Obasanjo is even coming into the country to help me campaign. Why don't you guys let me campaign? Number 2, there is also the 2027 politics. The truth is, Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Alliance will not go into that election as a unit. So, Raila Odinga might be planning to run. Kalonzo Musyoka must be on the ballot in 2027. There's no shortcut about Kalonzo Musyoka being on the ballot. For Raila Odinga, he can decide not to run. But he's also being pushed by a section of his supporters to be on the ballot in 2027. Which means there's no way Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka can be in the same coalition. So that's why he engineered the events yesterday so that they could part ways. And of course, there's also the pressure from the agencies. Everybody wants to take a cake from the agencies. You know, these guys organized very successful demonstrations across the country. Everybody now is actually, the agencies are actually a darling of most Kenyans. And they're the majority. So which means each and every political player would want to align themselves with them. And these guys have a rallying call that Ruto must go. And Raila Odinga wants to take Azimio to Ruto. So which means they were definitely going not to allow that. But the question is, what next for Azimio after yesterday's event? That's exactly what I want us to analyze in this video. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But again, before I dive in, allow me to introduce you guys to Lemfi. Lemfi is a mobile money app for users in the UK, Canada, and the United States of America to send money to Kenya. They offer the best exchange rates, and of course, the money will be delivered instantly into your M-Pesa account, Airtel Money, and if you want, directly into your bank account. You can use the link in the pinned comment to download the app. Ladies and gentlemen, what next for Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Alliance? Because for me, having worked with Raila Odinga, I think Raila Odinga is out of Azimio. Azimio core principles, minus Raila Odinga, can decide to form a new coalition without ODM party. I know something will cheat them, that they can kick ODM out and retain Azimio. That's not going to work in their favor. That's going to work in favor of Raila Odinga. Why am I saying so? I'm saying so because if you look at it critically, ODM is a major player in Azimio. In fact, you can say Azimio is largely ODM. Raila Odinga was the presidential candidate in the last election alongside Martha Karua. So if, for example, today you were to put the image of Martha Karua and Raila Odinga, those billboards of the 2022 election, what will come to your mind? Now Kenya will not feature anywhere. But ODM might feature because of Raila Odinga. So for me, it has reached a point where now Kalonzo must decide, and his co-partners, that let us form a new coalition. Then move. Then that new coalition can actually help them. Because if they were to go with Azimio and they are saying Kenyans are now against Azimio, it will not work for them. Azimio even lost the last election. Azimio has entered into coalition with William Ruto. So they can say, okay, for us, we don't want ODM. We don't want Azimio, so we are forming a new coalition. But the second thing which they can do, which for me is the best, is for them to start playing the real opposition role. They're accusing Raila Odinga of going to bed with the government of the day. Raila Odinga is just the leader of ODM party. So the other parties are still there. So they can use this moment. They can take advantage of that to actually align themselves with what majority of Kenyans are feeling. So for example, you know, of course, UD has the majority member of parliament, then followed by ODM party, I think then by Wiper, going like that. But they can have their voice, they can get their voice to be heard. They can rally their troops in parliament easily. Even if there are 3 or 4 or 10 people, they can rally them, make noise. I can assure you, sometimes noise works if you align that noise with the majority who are the people. Who knew that the majority of members of parliament who voted yes are currently hiding? That the few who opposed that finance bill are the ones who are now walking freely. So it means, if I were them, I'd now turn myself into opposition leaders. The truth is, anytime Raila Odinga is silent, Azimio goes into silence. Something is wrong somewhere. So they must up their game and play that rightful role. If they can play that role, maybe. But if they won't, nobody will miss them. In fact, nobody will miss them if they are not serious. Number 3, and this is for political games, they can decide to dissolve Azimio. But dissolving Azimio is not going to be easy. Someone might be tempted to go to court to drag them. Yeah? And that's why I was saying, okay, is the party leader of Wiper can easily submit documents to the registrar, pulling out Wiper, the other political parties, but they can engineer that dissolution of Azimio. What if Raila Odinga will be able to get some 2 or 3 parties or officials of 3 parties to decline to dissolve? Yeah, so for me, the best option would be to play the real opposition. But again, they can see if they could push, just for political reasons, the dissolution of Azimio La Umoja One Kenya alliance. Number 4. Number 4. If Azimio La Umoja One Kenya alliance core principles can organize a massive anti-government demonstrations in Nairobi, they can pick an issue. Because the truth is, there are so many issues which needs to be addressed. There are so many issues which needs to be addressed in the Republic of Kenya. So they can just pick one issue. Lead massive demonstration in the Republic of Kenya. They'll achieve two main things. The first thing they'll achieve is that they'll be able to align themselves to Kenyans. Number 2, they'll be able to prove a point that indeed, even minus Raila Odinga, they can still make things happen. Do you know why the political class is uncomfortable with the Gen Zs? Because these Gen Zs, very few people took them seriously. When they got outside there, they demonstrated, they persisted, they contributed money, they educated themselves to a point where now nobody could take them for granted. To a point where now they could say, okay, just through Twitter, we are going to occupy CBD and Nairobi is occupied. Their ability to mobilize, their ability to organize anti-government protest. That is what these guys need. If they won't need that, nobody will take them seriously. And lastly, the other partners, that is Kalonzo and the group, can decide, okay, Raila is going. He's going to bed with Ruto. What do I do? What do we do? Nationwide rallies. Come to Kisumu. Explain to the people of Kisumu why that handshake deal is a bad thing. Go to Kibra. Explain to them. Go to Mombasa. The entire country. I don't know whether these guys can actually manage to sustain those rallies minus Raila Odinga. I don't know. Because one of the issues I've had with Kalonzo, for me, let me just be honest, I have a soft spot for Kalonzo Musyoka. He's a guy I would easily vote for. And I've always made that open and public on this platform. But I have a problem with him. He's all serious. Kalonzo Musyoka is all serious. Yeah? So if they can embark on nationwide rallies, then Kenyans will start seeing them as serious leaders. I don't know what you think. What do you think is the next move Azimio should take? Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.